For today's project, I'm going to try to fix a broken button on this realistic 10 band per channel equalizer. Stock number 31-2000. Seems to me I sold these back in 1981-82 at Radio Shack. The problem here is not just that the button is missing. I have the button, but the button shaft has broken off clean at the button, and the remainder of the shaft is inside the tip of the button. So today we're going to mend that. So the first drill bit I'm going to use is this little hand-mounted, it looks to be about 36 thousandths of an inch. I'm not sure what that is here. 0.9 millimeters. So I'm starting off with this small drill bit to make sure that I perfectly center the hole that I drill into the broken off shaft. It's an old bit, but you can still see it's peeling off the plastic. I just have to make sure I don't go so far as to come out the front of the button. But I've never done that before. That should be deep enough. The next plan of action is to have a corresponding hole on the other side of the button shaft. So I've mounted on my power drill a little bit, and it looks to be about 2 millimeters. Let's put that over in inches. 75 thou. It's about a 5/16 drill bit. So we're going to take that and first drill out this piece. Now we're going to drill out the rest of the button. I think that should be deep enough. So I've pulled out my little container of very small bolts. About 2.08 millimeters, so they're just a little bit larger than the holes that we just drilled. So next I'm going to take my little screwdriver and my little, it's a standard, my little bolt. Thread it in a few turns until it tightens up. I don't want to force it and strip the threads, but I do want to get the threads started. So it's working perfectly still. I'll take that out. So the next step will be to put the bolt into the little stub that's in here. And with any luck, it's tight. I'm going to take it over to the vise. So I went over to the vise, pulled the little bolt out, and the insides came out, and it's nicely mounted together. Put a little magic marker here and mark about how much I should cut off, and go do some hacksaw work. So now I've taken the hacksaw and cut the unneeded head of the bolt off along with much of the shaft, so I'm left with a little bit sticking out the end. So I've taken a pair of needle nose pliers and wrapped an elastic around it so that it can grab on to the tip that has the new threaded rod in it. So I threaded it in so far, it started to make the little bolt I used come out the back, but that shouldn't matter. Oh, all three the same height. You'd never know it was broken.